not even daylight yet in Austin, Texas is very much awake. This little city is probably one of the most unique cities in Texas that I've personally ever visited. And the funny thing is it's also probably one of my favorite cities to fish all time. You probably don't know this, but in the forefront of that cityscape right there is a beautiful, pristine, clear water big bass factory, which we're going to check out today. But most importantly, instead of just fishing, I really want to learn about the city. I want to know what ATX is all about. I want to meet the people, I want to eat the food, and of course, I want to catch the fish. So most normal anglers would start fishing this early in the morning, but I need fuel before I can get on the water, so let's get some tacos. If you've never been to Texas before, one thing you'll learn very swiftly is that Mexican cuisine is a big part of the food scene around here, especially in Austin, Texas. The only problem is there's like so many places to choose from. You got like your fancy places, you got your food trucks, you got your breakfast places like this. Bryant found this place like literally 30 minutes ago. It's called El Pastor. It's just in a little, very inconspicuous strip mall. Looks like absolutely nothing, but you walk in here, the smells catch you immediately. You've got Tree-Zone egg, fajitas and rice, a little bit of beans, and then, of course, barbacoa. 3 tacos to start the day off. Thank you, El Pastor. This is gonna be so damn good. Oh yeah. That's amazing. All right. Tacos have been housed. I am fulfilled and ready to cut to the point. Let's look for some water now. I've only fished in Texas, or only fished in Austin, Texas, I think probably 2 or 3 times, so not too much. But what I do know is the Town Lake fishing scene is pretty good, or also known as Lady Bird Lake. It's a dam section of the Colorado River. Colorado River is like really lush. It's got some pretty big bass in it. I think the lake record in Lady Bird is a 13-pound largemouth bass, which is just huge. Actually, my buddy Grant, I think, still holds the record. It's a freaking giant fish, but there's a lot of tiny creeks that run into Lady Bird. Might check some of those out. It is nearing fall, so these fish should start getting a little snappy, should start feeding pretty good. So, tacos, check. Now we gotta get rigged up and find some fish. What do you guys think? Let's get after it.
Right. It's gonna be separate together.
Together.
It's gonna be 15:35.
Have a good one. Take care. Alright, good news. It's fishing time. We actually have a little bit of overcast right now, which is gonna help the bite. I was a little worried about getting started a little late this morning and then doing tacos before fishing, but I think with this overcast we'll be able to find some hungry fish. Let's hop in the whip. Filming? This might be it. Yeah, this might be it. There's one right there. Nice one. Its head is straight into the current. That's a good one right there. I got one on right now. He's running with it. Got him. Got him. Got him. Fish on. 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 All right, fish on, fish on. Yep. Fish on. Austin, Texas, baby. We are in the heart of ATX catching fish. We've barely even, I fished what? This is like my 10th cast. Unreal. Most unreal part about this is the fact that there's actual fishable water. Probably can't even hear me over the construction and all the city noises, but that is a good fish. Beautiful. Wow. Welcome to Austin, baby. Woo! Yeah! It's a really nice one, dude. Cool. Put you back. City limits bass. There he goes. Nothing gets me as happy as catching fish in places where I'm not supposed to catch fish. This is cool. All right, let's keep fishing. This waterfall has got fish on it. Let me set the scene for you guys. We are basically in downtown Dallas, if you can't hear that already. This is a small creek, actually a little bit of a waterfall system that dips into Town Lake. The thing is Town Lake's pretty dirty right now. In Texas, there's been a ton of rain, the water level is up, so it's a little bit challenging to get them in the actual lake. So what we're doing right now is we're following these little tributaries that meet and merge into the Colorado River, and we're looking for areas with a ton of current and spotting out some of these urban bass. Perfect scenario. First cast into that fish was heading the current looking for food. I dropped the jig with the bandito bug in there, and he wanted it. There's one right here. There's two of them. They're really sneaky on him. He's got it, he's running at it, he's got it. Got him. Oh, he came off. It's like trout fishing. These fish are swimming into the current. It's just fast moving water. You throw a bait right up above them, let that current take the bait, and they just eat it. That's another nice one. How did that even happen? Oh, there's one right there. There's a fish right there. What is that? Is that a bass? Got him. Nice. Oh my God. Oh boy. Take a look at this fish. This guy has seen much better days. I didn't even think it was a bass. I thought it was like a drum or something like that. Then I remembered I was fishing a creek. Very unlikely that it would have been anything other than a bass. He was right in the top of the current looking for bait. I threw it into the whitewater, the riffles, brought it back down, and he annihilated it. Like, where did that even go? This is more of the prejudged standard for urban fish. People think all fish look like this. The first one I caught was super healthy. This guy maybe is a little too much diesel oil and runoff in his system, but regardless, it's a good fish. Nice quality size on the drag and drop. Got him. This is so much fun. Back you go, old yeller. Higher. Possibly. The only problem is landing them. Dude, the only reason why I don't want to do this is there are giant fish in here, dude. If I hook an 8-pounder, I want to catch it. One just doinked it. He's got it. It's a good one. 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 It's a nice one. Oh, it's a good one. Made the adjustment, going a little bit more finesse. We've made ourselves known. The fish know we're here, so I had to kind of drop down on the size and the pattern. So we're throwing the little drag and drop worm on just a little jig head. The easiest and simplest way to fish. It's all finesse. Look at this guy, not a bad one. It's like if you make a lot of commotion like we did on that first fish, and you find the fish aren't biting, just drop down on your size. Instead of a 7-inch worm, throw a 4-inch or a 3-inch. Best tip for you guys, especially in the urban setting. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. There we go. Wow. That is a healthy fish. Despite that last one I caught, these fish are really healthy. I think urban fishing spots get such a bad rap. You know, people are like, oh my God, mutant fish, 3-headed largemouth bass, bluegill with laser beams flying out of their eyeballs. It's like, no, there's actually really healthy fish in these waters. It may not be the best drinking water, it's not like glacier water, but you've got fish in here that are thriving. It's just weird to think, because in the background you hear steel slamming and construction vehicles and people talking and horns honking. Just hard to believe that this is actually not a bad spot to fish. There she goes. Do I even need to say it? It's sick, man. So sick. Now that you guys got a taste for what Texas urban fishing is like, we're gonna hit up a few more spots. This spot was, like I said, smack dab in the city. The next spot we're going to go to is called Barton Springs. Now it's a notorious swimming hole. The funny thing is there's all this water on here, but no one really uses it for fishing. There's a lot of paddle boarding, a lot of swimming, a lot of boating or whatever, but no one really fishes this stuff. So we're going to Barton Springs right now, where the actual spring dumps into a little creek that feeds into Town Lake. So we're gonna check that out. The water should be, theoretically, crystal clear. And the few times that I've been there, I've seen some just enormous bass. So we are now going to head south of the city. Barton Springs, here we are. Let's check out the pool real quick. I want to show you guys what this place is really all about. It's a swimming hole, that's what it's meant for. But just below the pool, you can legally fish. So that's what we're gonna fish. But check out this swimming area. It's crystal clear. It's some of the cleanest water I think I've ever seen in Texas. First glance, it looks like just a long swimming pool, right? Matter of fact, it's not. It's a creek, a spring, that they dumped concrete on either side and turned it to a swimming area. Where that guy is swimming right there, there's big bass right below him. But unfortunately, this is a no fishing off limit zone only. Whatever, let's go find him below. So this is kind of funny. There's multiple springs, I think about 4 that make up the whole Barton Springs little creek that feeds into the main river. This one is the Eliza Spring. And one thing I just remembered is that this spring holds, I think, 2 different types of endangered salamanders. I love salamanders, like one of my favorite little amphibians on earth. There's the, let's see, there's a sign right here. This is not off the top of my head. There's the Barton Springs salamander, which is red, and then there's the Austin blind salamander, which looks like it's more of a purplish red color. Pretty neat, and that's one of the reasons why this is off limits and they only allow swimming. They figured swimmers aren't going to mess with the ecosystem too much. That's crazy though. Fishing in an area where there's endangered sallies. More you know, right? Sick, eh? Be a cool place to run a streamer through it. There we go. Nice. First fish. Well, not as big as the bass in the first spot, but it's kind of an interesting fish because it ate kind of a bait that's pretty big. Barton Springs has got a ton of current. All that pool that you saw up top has water dumping into it, and then this is creating this like massive amount of turbulence. So you have to use something that's kind of fast moving that imitates a swimming bait fish. And this little guy came up and cranked it. Look at that. I threw the bigger swim bait hoping that maybe a bigger fish would eat it. Of course, it was a little guy that came up. Kind of neat though. Fishing a lot of turbulent, fast moving water, so you have to keep up with that motion, that constant movement by throwing something like a little swim bait or chatterbait or crankbait. First victim. Nice. There he is. Sweet!
Yeah.
No.
Oh, he's turning.